I've been making wine commercially since 1977. And in all that time, this is the most interesting project that I've ever done. It's all springing from work I did with Dr. Stephen Krebs, who was my boss when I was teaching advanced winemaking at Napa Valley College. And he had a vineyard full of Chardonnay. And I said, Steve, I don't want to make Chardonnay. Because personally, I have nothing against Chardonnay. I think it's a wonderful grape. But the way that we're supposed to make it here in Napa is an oaky, toasty butter bomb that really doesn't taste like Chardonnay grapes at all. There was a time when I thought that was really cool. Those big-breasted, fat, generous wines. I was just totally stoked the first time I had one. But after a couple of decades, I got kind of tired of them. It was interesting. I told Steve, if we could figure out how to make something more like a European wine in this vineyard, that would interest me. So a miracle sort of happened. It was really amazing. We went down to the vineyard and we basically asked the grapes to give us a Chablis. Now, Chablis is a name that most people associate with cheap wine. You know, real Chablis comes from the town of Chablis in Burgundy. It's very cold there, and they're sitting on limestone. And they make this wine, which is one of the best wines to have with half-shell oysters. It has a lot of mineral buzz to it. It's fairly low in alcohol, and it smells like grapes. It smells like lemon oil. And so I thought, let's just see whether if we try to make a wine like that, how far we could get. And we made 6 vintages of really splendid wine. I think I'm going to open the 2004 now. I think the most important thing about this wine was that we wanted to get minerality. By minerality, I mean a kind of a buzz in the finish that's very characteristic of Chablis, and it makes the wine very palate cleansing for oysters or crab or any kind of shellfish. So in Chablis, they're on limestone, and it's easy to get minerality on limestone. You just put the grapes in the ground, and that's what you get. We don't have any limestone, almost none in California. Claude Bourguignon told us that we could get minerality on any soil if we would just sort of respect Mother Nature and get a living soil going. And so that meant knocking it off with the herbicides and the pesticides. We got plenty of weeds in that vineyard and plenty of earthworms. All right, we thought we'd try this. And we didn't know whether it would work, but in 2001, we got pretty minerally wines. And then every year that we kept the living soil going, they got more and more. So here we are in 2004, and if you don't mind, I'm just going to give this a little taste. So we've got, like I said, we have that lemon oil. It's not a lemon fruit, but more like a lemon oil or lemon blossom, lemon essence. And the other thing is a kind of champagne thing from the lees that I stirred in there. So then, okay, so you get this rich kind of plump structure in the mouth, and then as you swallow it, it's got all this buzz to it. This very, very energetic, great palate cleanser, and a long, interesting finish with no bitterness in it. We're just releasing it now. And of course, most California Chardonnays, whether this old, would be completely over the hill. This one's just beginning to bloom, and will repay more years in the cellar. It'll be a really interesting experiment.